Sean loses a little bit of focus.
Now, Tim, this is a gymnast who's come a long way in a year. What's the biggest difference?
He's a tremendous athlete. First of all, he's very physically very strong, as you can see right there. But he is also a big-time fighter. That is, if you have to put a finger on the most important quality, you got to be tough, and that's what Sean is.
He also mentioned to me that after watching Blaine Wilson and seeing his success, he sort of has a good idea of what he needs to do to get it done.
Well, he is just about done with this exercise. Dismount remaining. That's a big one to have done for Sean Townsend.
And that's a huge difference from the 8.4 he put up on day one. We're still in the second of 6 rotations here in Boston. And the Fleet Center has sounded like the Celtics are coming back in the 4th quarter or the Bruins are scoring a goal in overtime.
Thanks, man.
To Blaine Wilson on the parallel bars.
You know, he really has no competition, to be perfectly honest, at this event, but he has a lot to accomplish here. This is his last major outing before the Sydney Olympic Games. This is a guy that could win the first ever all-around title for the U.S. men. He has a legitimate shot of doing that, but he needs to be more perfect, to be honest, than he has been for that to happen.
Peter Corman called Blaine Wilson on night 1 of these trials the best he's ever seen him.
Parallel bar is an event that Blaine could make finals on and have a shot to win an individual event medal as well. Tell you how you win a championship, though. You got to stick. Small hop right there. No problem for tonight, but in Sydney, things like that, they add up big time. Blaine knows it, too.
Pick the feet up too fast, though. Got to swing through a little more. Giants were good. Better form on it.
That's Ron Brandt, the coach of the U.S. team in Colorado Springs. So to the older twin, Morgan Hamm, coming into today, he was in 6th position. And if you're in 6th position, you better, as Tim Daggett said earlier, be good in 2, 3, or even 4 events. Can he say that?
Yeah, he can say he's great here.
Yeah, this is by far his best event, and Stacy Maloney, his coach, he said, you know, he's really feeling the pressure coming into this competition. He told him, just stay aggressive, keep doing it.
And that's what's so good about Morgan on floor. He squeezes, he doesn't panic, holds on to those landings. Look at these flares, beautiful extension. Morgan's battled with some injuries throughout his career, and Stacy, his coach, said elements like that he does a little bit better than Paul, because a lot of times he couldn't do some of the other elements, and he could spend a little more time refining skills like that.
The problem for Morgan Hamm, Jamie Natalie, John Roethlisberger is that the distance between them and 4th place is a real chasm right now. It's a big distance.
Same dismount we saw from his brother Paul. Double laid out somersault. Oh, baby. Yikes.
Everything looks so great when you stick it.
Yeah, see, I gotta tell you, a routine like that, even that one, that helps a lot. That's not just a score you can live with.
That's gonna get
in Sydney. That's a score that helps this team a lot. That's big-time gymnastics.
In the Nationals and here at the trials, Sean Townsend has not scored as high as that on the rings. 9.725. Blaine Wilson just keeps it going, and he's about to go into his private musical world. 9.725. He played golf today. The guy's cool. Now to Stephen McCain, our first look. And if you were with us at the U.S. Nationals, remember the story of Stephen McCain. He missed on the 6th and final rotation at the Olympic trials, did not make the team, went down to South Africa, spent time with a friend, said he should have been depressed, but it was the time of his life, and somewhere along the way, rededicated himself to the sport of gymnastics.
Ron Bren said that after the first day of competition. He really felt that Steve gave it his best. He said he fought well, but I'm not seeing enough of it. He needs to give just a little bit more today.
Very strong, close to perfectly level on those inverteds. He struggled right here in the first day. Much better today. One of his coaches, Vitaly Marinich, said, I can always tell. I just look into Steve's eyes and I can tell if it's good or it's bad. He said it looked good today.
He's fighting.
He held on. And Tim, a lot like women's gymnastics at LP2 a year ago, this is a team that didn't look like it could do much. It wasn't deep, it wasn't talented beyond Blaine Wilson and Jason Gatson, who's out of the situation right now.
They're good enough to win a medal. A lot of things have to happen, but this team can win a medal in Sydney.
We said Morgan Hamm would put up a big number off the floor exercise, and he did, 9.75.
It's a big number. I think it was actually a little too low. It was tremendous.
You saw the big number from Sean Townsend. Stephen McCain responds with a 9.525, and this all complicates the lives of Jamie Natalie, Morgan Hamm, and John Roethlisberger, because they are keeping that fourth and final spot out of reach. Now, in John Roethlisberger, you're talking about a lot of pride. Father was an Olympian in '68. Sister was an alternate in 1984. It is the blood that runs through the Roethlisberger veins.
Gotcha, buddy.
His father and he have had a sometimes testy relationship, but it's all about succeeding and achieving as high as they can in gymnastics. If John doesn't make it into the top 4 spots, Tim, what do you think?
Well, I got to tell you, John and his father, they're traditionalists. They don't like the changes of the rules. They think it should be straight all around.
Just a great one, John, just like we've been practicing it. Let's go.
They think the team should be picked by the top 6 all around.
It's not a problem. Come on, buddy. You got it.
Got a feeling, talking to Fred, that if John doesn't place in the top 6, even if he was chosen, there's a chance, I don't know, he might say, sorry, I didn't earn it. Biggest challenge comes right here. Much better than he did the first day of competition.
When he got a 9-0.
Oh, little bit of a struggle there. No big deal, though. John looks like a different guy today, completely in control, dealing with his problems. Much better than day 1, got to tell you that.
Could have been better. Good job, John. High bar.
You heard Fred. He's already focused on the next rotation.
It was a great routine.
Grab my honey.
We'll update the scoreboard and standings after this.
Relentless training, endless preparation.
In Beantown at the Olympic trials, John Roethlisberger gets a 9.425, but slips into the 8th position. Let me tell you what's going to happen at the conclusion of the trials today. It's going to be very dramatic. The selection committee is going to go into a room here at the Fleet Center, and then a few minutes later, they're going to march all 17 athletes who are competing here today out onto the floor, and then alphabetically, the 6 men who will represent the United States in Sydney at the Olympics will be announced. The 4 who get there by the standings and the 2 who are picked by the committee. You are going to see a display of emotions at all ends of the spectrum before we're done here in Boston today. Jamie Natalie has been the #1 gymnast so far here today through 2 rotations. Even better than Blaine Wilson. Still, he's a full point behind when you consider the weighted numbers that are going into this. 40% at the Nationals, 60% at the Olympic trials. A full point is a lot with 4 rotations to go. So all Jamie Natalie can do is continue to go out there and put up big numbers like he has so far. As we mentioned, the best numbers today of anybody He says in 10 years he'll be an overweight, successful sports medicine doctor who coaches gymnastics in his spare time. But right now, here